Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Dennis Bragg. Jill Valley has the night off. Increased fire activity on the 23,000-acre Alice Creek fire northeast of Lincoln prompts the Lewis and Clark County Sheriff's Office to evacuate more residents along Highway 200. Specifics on those evacuations on our website. A temporary shelter has now been opened at Wolf Creek School, and Highway 200 has been closed east of Lincoln at the intersection of Highway 279 that travels down to Helena. It's closed over Rogers Pass. The Sheriff's Office says the closure of the highway, though temporary, probably just overnight. The road will reopen when private driveways along the evacuated area have been blocked off. And we are dealing with critical fire weather this weekend. For the very latest, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost, who's tracking it all tonight. Aaron?
Our current ridge of high pressure shift even more to the east. That's allowed a southerly flow to develop. In that flow, enough instability to trigger a couple of showers and thunderstorms today, but also that's just out ahead of a cold front, and that's the reason we're going to see the wind tomorrow and that increased threat for fire danger. Hamilton today, First Security Bank ICAM, you can still see obviously we're ahead of that cold front. Smoke is in place and it's going to stay locked in here as we move into the day tomorrow. I am hoping that our next upcoming cold front will be enough to help scour out some of our valleys, not completely, but even just a little bit right now would be helpful. Fire danger again very high tomorrow. I've got a whole lot more coming up.
And with that critical fire weather coming, firefighters are bracing for a big day on the Rice Ridge fire. And in Lincoln, fears how the big fires in the upper Blackfoot could merge.
Crews are prepping lines to contain expected Rice Ridge fire activity north of Highway 200 with backburning and fuel removal.
And so the next bunch will be over the next couple of days. We're looking at a cold front that may come in, and I think this is the leading edge of it. And so we'd like to keep the fire low intensity, start here and work it down. And then when it gets closer to the road, we will start doing what we call hand firing.
Between 4,500 and 6,000 acres will be backburned down to the 477 road. Depending on conditions, they may use hand or aerial ignition. This could happen before early next week. 7 homes and multiple other buildings are in the area, and crews are taking precautions to protect those structures.
Fire managers are using heavy machinery to create a fuel break on this side of the road along 19 miles of the 477 road in order to prevent the fire from making a run and potentially jumping this road and heading towards structures.
The Montour Creek Guard Station and Montour Campground are also in the path of a southeast running fire. Flames approached within 200 feet of the guard station Saturday night, which is about 8 miles north of Ovando. Crews continue to mop up areas that were torched over the weekend. Reporting in Seeley Lake, I'm Augusta McDonnell for MTN News.
One of our concerns is that the Rice Ridge fire will burn into the Park Creek fire. We need to be ready. We need the citizens to be ready.
Smoky conditions have made it difficult to determine how far the Rice Ridge fire has spread. If it burns too far south, leaders are concerned prevailing winds could drive it towards subdivisions west of Lincoln. They've determined a set of key points. If the fire reaches those, they will start planning to issue pre-evacuation warnings. While leaders are especially concerned about the Rice Ridge fire, they're also making plans in case the Alice Creek fire approaches Lincoln from the east.
The people who are assembled here are planning for the worst, but hoping for the best. Nobody should be panicked, but that everyone should be vigilant.
In Lincoln, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
The thick smoke in Glacier grounds helicopters from attacking the Sprague and Adair Peak fires, but our Nicole Miller reports it's also given fire crews time to set up more defenses to protect Lake McDonald Lodge.
As intense smoke from wildfires choke West Glacier, its effect has slowed growth of the Sprague fire, giving firefighters a window of opportunity to put structure protection in place in the Lake McDonald Lodge area.
So we've got hose, as you can see, we've got these blivets, or these pumpkins as we call them, are sitting here as a backup to have water on site. We want to have crews available and ready to respond to any ember showers that we get.
If the fire were to reach the lodge, fire managers already have a plan. They brought in this 6-inch pipe so that they can pump water from Lake McDonald.
The pipe can pump up to 700 gallons of water a minute.
If we do get an ember shower, one of the main tools we'll use to protect the lodge that is so cherished that everyone loves is a large fire engine, a structure engine with a ladder truck. And it's, I believe, a 100-foot ladder, and it can pump 1,200 gallons of water a minute, and it has the ability to reach up and actually spray the entire roof on Lake McDonald Lodge here.
Incident meteorologist with the fire, Phil Manuel, says they do expect the fire to move away from the lodge over the weekend and the smoke should lift.
Our weather concern right now is the smoke. You know, it's been around for the last 3 or 4 days. We've gotten a lot of questions from folks of, you know, where is this, you know, when is the smoke going to get out of here? And my answer to that is with the frontal passage that's coming with this weekend.
Reporting in Glacier National Park, Nicole Miller, MTN News.
Meanwhile, Missoula County's air quality specialist says a change to a more seasonable weather pattern late next week could ease the widespread impacts from all this fire smoke. But with hundreds of thousands of acres on fire, the smoke won't vanish entirely. The past couple of days have seen some of the worst air quality of an already miserable fire season, fluctuating between unhealthy and hazardous. High pressure that's capped the fire smoke is shifting east, though, although winds could fan the fires again, generating more smoke like it did last weekend. However, forecasts are indicating more favorable and fall-like weather patterns shaping up late next week. Missoula City County Health Department Specialist Sarah Cofield says that's great news. Although so many fires, it's going to take a while before we're completely rid of the smoke monster.
It means that we're going to see less of the really stagnant air. I think we're going to see this accumulation built up from our own smoke, from other states' smoke, where it just sits there and is terrible. But the fires are going to still be producing smoke until they go out. It'll become more of an issue for folks that are downwind of fires and so on the receiving end of a plume, or people who are right next to a fire where every night the smoke will roll down and fill that valley.
However, Cofield says many more people will have an opportunity to have some clear air if that weather pattern changes. How far are you willing to go to protect your kids from the smoke enveloping western Montana? MTN's Eric Clemens meets an RLE mom who is so desperate for her toddler's safety, she's sending her to Wyoming.
I have to evacuate my daughter so that she can breathe.
That's the choice Sadie Chadwick felt she had to make. Evacuate her daughter, 3-year-old KARLEE Chadwick, whose health is threatened by this oppressive, unrelenting blanket of smoke.
The smoke's in our house. We can't keep it out of our house. We've got 2 air purifiers running all the time, but you can still keep breathing and you can just taste the smoke inside of our house.
KARLEE will stay with her grandparents in Wyoming. It's a 16-hour round trip, but Grandma says she's happy to make it.
My mom had been offering to take her for a couple weeks, and I was like, no, you know, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. And now she's waking up every night coughing so bad that she's not sleeping.
I cough and I can't go to sleep. I coughing and I want to go sleep and stay asleep and close my eyes. And I keep coughing in morning. I lie down and I try and cough really, really hard. And I sit up.
Sadie isn't sure how long KARLEE will have to be away. She says that's the hardest part. So they're enjoying what could be their last mommy-daughter playtime this summer.
I don't feel like I should have to send my child away to keep her safe.
And though it's difficult, Sadie says it's a choice she won't regret, and she encourages other parents to do the same.
If you have an outlet to get your kids out of the city for, I mean, at least a few days or a week so that they can breathe a little bit better and clear their lungs, take it. I know that it's hard, but sometimes we have to make hard decisions as parents.
As for KARLEE, she's looking forward to seeing her grandparents.
I go camping and see the horses and see my grandpa.
But she's gonna miss Mom.
I need my mama and I need my sippy help me stop coughing.
In Missoula,
I love swimming in park.
Eric Clements, MTN News.
Good look at the real human impacts of all these fires. Coming up, Erin has important details on our critical fire weather for this weekend. We're looking at thunderstorms, gusty winds, potential for new fire starts, and rapid fire growth. She's got all that covered coming up here on MTN.